Raw material preparation is a critical step in the cement manufacturing process. The goal of raw material preparation is to produce a uniform raw meal that can be used to produce high-quality cement. Here is a detailed procedure of raw material preparation. Step 1. Crushing and grinding of raw materials. 1. Limestone crushing. Limestone is crushed into smaller pieces using a limestone crusher. Clay crushing. Clay is crushed into smaller pieces using a clay crusher. Sand grinding. Sand is ground into a fine powder using a sand mill. Iron ore grinding. Iron ore is ground into a fine powder using an iron ore mill. Step 2. Mixing of raw materials. 1. Weighting and proportioning. The crushed and ground raw materials are weighed and proportioned according to the desired raw meal composition. Mixing. The weighed and proportioned raw materials are mixed together in a raw meal mixer. 3. Homogenization. The mixed raw meal is homogenized to ensure uniformity. Step 3. Drying and preheating of raw meal. 1. Joicing. The raw meal is dried to remove excess moisture using a raw meal dryer. 2. Preheating. The dried raw meal is preheated to a temperature of around 800 degrees using a preheater. Step 4. Calcination of raw meal. 1. Calcination. The preheated raw meal is calcined in a calciner at a temperature of around 900 degrees. 2. Decomposition. The calcination process decomposes the limestone and clay into calcium oxide and silica. Step 5. Final grinding of raw meal. 1. Final grinding. The calcined raw meal is ground into a fine powder using a cement mill. 2. Blending. The ground raw meal is blended with other additives such as gypsum and fly ash to produce the final raw meal quality control measures. 1. Sampling. Regular sampling of the raw meal is done to check its quality and composition. Testing. The raw meal is tested for its chemical and physical properties such as calcium oxide content, silica content, and particle size distribution. Adjustments. Adjustments are made to the raw material preparation process as needed to ensure that the final raw meal meets the required quality standards. Required quality standards for cement production.